Hello, second video for the day here on Tuesday. So, yeah, I'm relaxed, and I just thought I would talk for a few minutes rather than, I've been asked a couple times, and I've considered it. I'm still not ready to do a live stream. It's not that I don't think I will, but I no, I don't think I'm asking for it by stating it out loud. I think I'm stating something obvious. If I do a live stream, I know there's a way of filtering out spam and trolly shit. But without a doubt, if I do a live stream, I'm going to have to deal with that, which I can deal with, And it's not that that's the main reason why I won't do it, but it would be, I believe it would be like a challenge because, I just have to see at this time. You know what I mean? Following my gut about this. I think I'll try it eventually, but not just yet. But how did my first lesson go this morning? It actually went well, and I didn't make it. Not thankfully, I wasn't sure if I would need to set aside an entire hour or half an hour. The lesson ended up being pretty much done in about 25 minutes. The young man, he's what? I don't even know. I guess probably 12 or 13. But smart young kid. And his dad, this is so cool because I won't say the kid's name, privacy's sake, but his dad is someone who I met and played music with back in the 80s in the punk scene here in Omaha when his dad was just a kid. And they had a band. And they had a band called NBF. And kid's dad was the drummer. It was... I still have fond memories of these days because it was all about the music. And so anyway, because they knew that I, caught wind that I had a basic recording set up in my basement. And so I recorded their cassette release. And probably when this kid's dad was not much older than he is now is what I'm saying, which is kind of pleasing and heartwarming. But I asked him what was his goal for taking lessons, and sure enough, I knew. He said, "Well, I want to learn how to read and everything." I said, "Well," I knew it. Well, I got to tell you right away, I've learned mainly by ear. Reading I've always had difficulty with it, but I was able to help. Fingers exercises and those scales, but we're at the very beginning. I mean, we had to. Someone gave this kid a beautiful Fender Squire bass over in the Netherlands. Is where he is. Beautiful bass. He thought that it was in tune, but it shows his dad is a drummer because the damn thing wasn't in tune. But we got it in tune, so that was the first part. But anyway, I won't go all the way through it, but it was neat. I guess, I hope you don't mind me sharing that. It was neat. So that went down. Now, musically, what's happening over here, okay, let me not forget this. So when I put this out, 2020, I put the 0 in front to make it what is it? I have to look it up. It's a thing where it looks the same from the beginning, from front to back. These words escape me, But when I originally put this up digitally on Bandcamp, I only put up 10 tracks. And on this there's 14. So what I did today was I upgraded the digital version. Quite a few people bought the digital version. And if you want a new download code to get all the tracks, if you didn't buy the CD, just email me at dereckvon@gmail.com. I'll leave it. gmail.com, and get a new free, get a new download code. Not free, but get a new download code so you can get the rest of the tracks. Along those lines, I'll share that I'm so happy that my music is being shared by other musicians that I respect, and it kind of blows me away. An ex-member of Magma, Patrick Gauthier, keyboardist, I was trying to friend him, quick story, on Messenger, and he was trying to respond, but I was full at the time. I would keep getting full. And then he messaged that he really liked my playing. And I said, what? You like my playing? So I like your playing, Magma. I got a bunch of the records, I thought he was getting me mixed up with someone. But anyway, a opening finally opened up in my friends. So we became friends. And he starts talking to me and saying how much he really likes my playing, and it's like, wow, because Patrick Gauthier is classically trained, far beyond my abilities, but apparently likes, what I do. And sure enough, he bought a digital copy of this, got a hold of me, and gave me a review, and then sent me a private piano. It was short, but man, that man can play. It's really kind of mind blowing. It's very humbling, and at the same time, very. I'm at a loss for words. It feels so good. You know what I'm saying? To have such peers, to be among such peers. It's wonderful. Bruce Leiker of Savage Republic posted his copy. He bought a physical copy, and he posted on Facebook a review and a picture. I love that. Plus, he runs the press company, printing press company that's still going, that does all that beautiful independent project. Yeah. I love it. I'm just rambling, but this is what these videos are. It's Dereck at Dereck's house with Higgins Corner. So I also got a message from my friend on the staff at Adult Swim, Doc, and he sent me some stills, and the next Higgins Corner is in production. It will be aired, I don't know when, but I think next month. But it's great, it's all still happening. So what did I play today? I went straight back to my childhood. I'll show this first. This is a reissue of a reissue. The band is called The Children, and the album is Rebirth. This was originally issued on a very small label, I believe, out of Texas, Cinema, in I think 1967 or 68. And then it was picked up almost immediately by Atlantic Records, a much bigger independent but seemingly large label. But I got this record when it cut out. It cut out almost immediately. So I remember this well, getting this at Arlen's before it became Target in 1969 for 39 cents. This is a survivor of my original collection going back to childhood. And there's all the markers where I would just get bored and write my name several times on it. It's so goofy. This is there's my name down there even. Dereck Von Higgins. Stephanie, you remember seeing this record in the house, I'm sure. Played side one of this. This is not a great album, but as time has gone by, it's actually held up well. So it's actually a very good pop psych progressive album. Here's the Atco. Originals of it on the Cinema label. Some snobby collector got online as I showed this on Facebook today. I do deal with all kinds of people, So I showed both of these and he said, well, you have to have the Cinema. And I just said, well, and I just shot back to him, and that's rare, I got my first copy in 1969. Damn, when it first came out, what are you talking about? But this is really kind of comforting, really, just listening to it. Can listen to the music objectively, but it also just brings back all these feelings. of of who I am when I at all the different times I would be listening to this as I've grown up, especially going back to being a kid in the bed sit, as we call it, in your room, and you've got your record player and just this little space that you can claim for yours in your parents' house. Cool record. I played some music, but I put it away. But I can share this. This was interesting. I got it in the mail yesterday, and that was a challenge because I thought to myself, who knows? I think here in Nebraska, in Omaha in particular, even though there is COVID, corona in the state and in the city, I think I'm fairly safe. But still, my heart goes out to people who have to work and the mailman. So when I got this CD, I just barely touched the package, ripped it open, dropped it right away, swabbed this down, washed my hands right away. It was so weird, you know what I'm saying? And yet, because I don't know, it comes from England. Michael Warren. This is not a release. This is just him wanting to share some of his music, and he's a guitarist, singer, but he also plays keys, like myself, a home musician. And I shared with him that the instrumental on this, no offense to him, but the instrumental is outstanding on there. It's really pretty. Really pretty. The other stuff is singer-songwriting. We'll go back to it. It sounds like he's pretty good. And I played some records yesterday, but I've just been keeping the place tidy. It's kind of a mind thing. And I've been reading. I just read an American book about Buddhism. I'm not religious. I'm philosophical. I'll use that word, okay? And Buddhism as a philosophy, as opposed to a religious practice. Although ritual, I find, importance in that, but ritual is not religious. You can bind it with a religious dogma, but ritual is personal. It can mean many different things. But I value that, philosophy and mindfulness. Yes, mindfulness is a tool that I use. Being mindful, wise mind is also a tool. The integration of emotion and pure logic, meeting somewhere in the middle, wise mind. It's not easy to maintain, and I don't maintain it, but these are tools that I'm able to use to help maintain my sanity. Now, the other thing that I'll say, probably that's helping me, is that I'm not in a lockdown situation. I'm in a self-quarantine, but not really, because I know that I can leave the house at any time. I can go for a drive. I can go to the store. It's not, I'm not doing other business. So in that sense, I'm self-quarantining. I'm not having band practice. The record stores are closed. Well, some of them are open, like Recycled. My heart goes out to the guy who owns it. Stewart, I know him. And he, like many small business owners, are scared to death. They're losing their livelihood, and will they survive this madness? He's open, and even Homer's here, the main record store, they're saying, we'll do curb service. We'll bring them out to your car. I respect that, and I understand that. I still see, before I go here, I want to share this, I do see here on the internet where there is just a strong thread of people who insist that this is a false flag event and that there is no virus. And it's like, I don't know what's going on in real life. I see what's being shown. I hear what's being told to me by actual people in places. I actually know people with the virus. I actually already know someone who's died. Whether or not it's intentional is beyond anything I can do about. But above and beyond the whole idea of being someone who ascribes to conspiracy theories, do I think that's possible? Do I think this is possibly on purpose? Yeah, sure. Sure do think it could be on purpose, and not an accident. Sure, and then there's a whole, see, because I don't know. I don't know these things. I'm here in Omaha. I'm not a scientist. I wasn't over there in the labs, working on this stuff. But I know that biowarfare is, experimentation and is on. You can safely assume that because of not just history, but news. And so the idea that this was manufactured along with a whole other bunch of strains, along with the idea of finding a vaccine for it so it could be used. It's all very plausible to me. There's nothing I can do about it because to me, because of my personal experience, and again, here's reality. Race comes into it. Being a black man in America, I have dealt so directly all my life with double standards, lies, and seeing how on paper and what you see in front of you how it's supposed to be, but then when they come up to when it's my turn, yeah, I'm having a different experience than the one I saw on TV I thought I was supposed to have as an American, as a citizen, as a tax-paying citizen. Even to this day, time and time again, I deal with this sad reality of living in a world that says it's one thing and it's another, and a lot of that having to do with how things are being run by the people with the money and the resources, our politicians, our businessmen, and all that, So to finish the ramble up, to just say it again, what we're dealing with is hell in a handbasket, whether it's real or not, we have to respond to it. This whole social distancing to mitigate the spreading makes complete sense to me. It seems to be working. So the idea of just trying to act like, well, this isn't real, just go back to work, I just, hate to, I hope that what could happen as a result of that happening, which is what this fool-ass nutcase, I will just not give him any respect, frump that we have for a president, is suggesting, oh, we gotta get back on, we gotta get the country back to work. Just, I'll use the term, God forbid that happens and we do find out the true extent of the reality of this virulent strain that we don't have a vaccine for yet. Interesting times, huh? So yeah, I use that mindfulness and that philosophical approach, I am under no illusion that I control anything, and that seems to be a big assumption that most people don't realize they're operating under. Everyone assumes that they have control over things. We have no control. There's just a lot of peace, actually. And, just a lot of perspective comes from understanding that. We really don't. We can respond, we can do this, we can make choices, we can do this may happen. It may appear we have control, but understand we don't. Man, there's clarity in that. Look at how long this is. Namaste.